California is home to 10.5 million immigrants, 10% of DACA recipients, and the second largest state in the U.S. with the majority of TPS holders, many of which are Latinos. I proudly rise today as a daughter of immigrants whose parents brought our family to California to build a better future for us. I was only 3 years old and my brother was 6 months old when my mother chose to take that dangerous trip alone with 2 babies. Her sacrifice and hopes gave me the opportunity to make my own hopes and a chance to reach the American dream. Immigrant Heritage Month is an opportunity to celebrate immigrants and their countless contributions to our country. Their contributions are not limited to our economy. In fact, the cultural landscape of our nation and state has been shaped by immigrants for decades. Immigrants should be allowed to thrive beyond their productivity in our state, to live whole and healthy lives beyond survival. Yet despite countless contributions made by immigrants, we have frequently overlooked and undermined their role in building our state and nation. Our history also reminds us that our immigrant communities have been scapegoated, vilified, and targeted. Despite the many challenges that immigrants face, such as language barriers, and in many instances, discrimination, immigrants and their children manage to survive, despite all these structural disadvantages. Our immigrant and refugee communities have experienced acts of violence and hatred, including those perpetrated against our Black, Asian American, Pacific Islander, and Muslim communities. Our present hasn't prevented our immigrant communities from facing hateful rhetoric and active exclusion of their contributions, needs, and humanity. Despite immigrants driving our economic growth, their needs have often gone unmet. We must recognize the persistent disparities and challenges disproportionately faced by immigrants, such as access to health care, education, benefits, including federal recovery benefits, that was worsened by the pandemic and recent floods. As we recognize and celebrate, let's also recognize the overlooked, the undervalued dedication of immigrants, like our farm workers and our street food vendors, and my dad, who will be here next week, our dishwashers and janitors. We honor the sacrifices of immigrants who became essential workers during the COVID pandemic-19. They served on the front lines and were called heroes and essential. It takes tremendous courage to be in a foreign country, knowing no one, and working to make it, to prosper, while trying to make it in your home. We recognize that while our immigrant and refugee communities have incredible strength and resiliency, we must continue to fight for a pathway to citizenship for immigrant workers and their families, and support that immigrants have contributed, such as food security, health, safety nets for all. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker and members. I am immensely honored to have this opportunity to rise on behalf of the Women's Caucus for Immigrant Heritage Month. As an immigrant myself, I am extremely proud of the road that California has paved for immigrants working and living in this golden state. 1 in 3 small business owners in California are immigrants. Honoring and respecting immigrant heritage is vital for California's culture, as almost 1/2 of California children have at least one immigrant parent. My parents sacrificed so much for me to be standing here today. My father dreamt of a safe life for his family, coming from Juarez, Mexico, where many young girls constantly went missing. Through determination, my parents carried my family over the U.S. border for a greater and safer life. Our story did not come without hardship, as my family and I were deported back to Mexico. We were able to make it back to the United States, and I have proudly been an American citizen since 1994. As an immigrant and an assembly member, it is my duty to honor immigrant heritage for those yet to make their voyage to the state of California. Immigrants contribute so much to the state through our culture, community, and determination to achieve and live the American dream. California is built on these communities, and I am thankful for this body for their continued support of immigrants. Thank you, and I ask for an aye vote.
Thank you, Ms. Rubio. And Assemblymember Carrillo, you're recognized on the resolution.
Buenas tardes, Mr. Speaker and members. Today, I rise in strong support of ACR 99, introduced by my colleague, Assemblywoman Cervantes. As an immigrant who came to this country at the age of 15 and got his first job as a dishwasher, I never imagined, nunca me imaginé, that I would one day become a proud U.S. citizen, raise a beautiful family, speak English, and let alone serve as an assembly member, proudly representing the 39th District of California. But here I am, standing before you today, a testament to the American dream, el sueño americano. My personal journey, like that of countless immigrants, is a testament to the immense potential that lies within individuals who dare to dream and embark in a new beginning in a foreign land. It is a story of resiliency, sacrifice, and unwavering belief in the ideals upon which our nation was built. I have witnessed firsthand the transformative power that lies within our immigrant communities. Immigrants from all corners of the globe have helped shape the economy, enrich the culture, and foster innovation that has propelled our nation forward. By designating June 2023 as Immigrant Heritage Month through ACR 99, we send a resounding message of gratitude and recognition for the invaluable contributions that immigrants have made and continue to make every day. It is an opportunity to celebrate the immense diversity and cultural richness that immigrants bring to our communities, reminding us of the shared values and aspirations that bind us together as a nation. By honoring our immigrant heritage, we reaffirm our commitment to equality, justice, and opportunity for all, regardless of one's country of origin. Together, let us honor the legacy of immigrants, embrace our shared humanity, and continue to build a future where the American dream remains within reach for all who strive for a better tomorrow. Recuerda, la unión hace la fuerza. I respectfully ask that you join me in supporting ACR 99. Gracias.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I rise in strong support of ACR 99, celebrating Immigrant Heritage Month as the first Salvadorian-born immigrant to represent our state assembly and the legislature, and also as a formerly undocumented young person in this country, one of the original dreamers who came to the United States amid the civil war in El Salvador, unrecognized refugees. We have this immense and incredible opportunity to inspire the next generation of leaders. And with that, I just want to share a letter that inspires me in honor of our nation's birthday, 4th of July, coming up. John Adams, one of the founders of this country, went to France advocating for our nation's independence. And in that, he wrote a letter to his wife, Abigail. I call it a love letter. And in this letter, he wrote, "The gardens of Versailles," he wrote, "My beloved, the gardens of Versailles are beautiful, and I wish that I had the time to express it and share it with you, but I must get back to work. I must go study politics and war so that our sons have the liberty to study mathematics and philosophy, so that their children have a right to study art and music." And members, that is the very foundation of our nation, that no matter where you come from, what you look like, what language you speak, and in my case and in many others, what your legal status is, this nation belongs to all of us, not just a few. And we have an opportunity, a responsibility, and an obligation to ensure that every immigrant child, regardless of where they come from, sees this nation as their own, and they get to build a future in which their parents sacrificed to bring them here, or the sacrifice of anybody that comes to our shores, has an opportunity to build a better life with dignity for themselves and for their families. And with that, I respectfully request an aye vote. Thank you.